I wouldn't say we're obsessed with each other. I'd say we're clinically obsessed with each other.
Extreme sisters Jessica and Christina have entertained us for the past 2 seasons with some explosive moments that have threatened to break their tight bond. However, the twins are still as close as ever, and during a recent chat, they dished about their rough childhood, personal relationships, and gave us the exclusive details about a heartbreaking event that occurred after they wrapped filming.
How do you even start this conversation?
You know, I'm very excited because this is my first twinterview.
All right.
So in season 1, right, it ended very tense. And when I'm watching season 2, I'm realizing that you guys didn't speak for 3 months. What were you doing? So Jessica, what were you doing for those 3 months while you weren't speaking to Christina? And then I'll let Christina tell me what she was doing that time.
I was crying a lot. I was like, literally, like, I was really depressed. I was home a lot. I was momming. It was a hard time in my life. It was actually, and I was going to therapy. So I was seeing it, and I was just really trying to learn the new dynamics and the new, you know what I mean? Try to process my own feelings and my own emotions and validate those with myself and, you know, grow. I was growing a lot, but I was alone a lot and just crying a lot.
All right. And then
I'm like back to that time.
I know, because it was a while ago, right?
Yeah. And then Christina, what were you I mean, we kind of know you're getting married and just, you know.
I was getting married, having a lot of sex and making babies. No. You know, it was a hard time for me too. During that time though, I think I was really focused on like trying to figure out who I was, because that was the first time in my life that I ever even thought, oh yeah, that's right. Like I am my own person. Like I have my own thoughts and it's not just a sister thing. Like I do have my own identity. And so during that time, it was like, I was for the first time feeling that emotion and feeling that energy and like trying to just come to grips.
Yeah.
Come to grips of what that was like for me.
Were there any time when you were tempted to call your sister?
Yes.
Okay. Why didn't you though?
I think because I was mad.
Yeah,
I was mad still. I was still upset. So I think I was just like, and frustrated. You know, I was just frustrated with the way things were at that time in our life. So
we learned that you got married, right? Do you regret not having her at your wedding?
Oh gosh, that's a good question.
I was shocked. Like when I was watching season 2, I was like, oh, I was shocked because I know how close you guys are.
Okay, so at the time, I didn't feel like she supported my relationship. It's hard because looking back, I definitely regret it now. But at the time, you know, sometimes in life you make decisions based on the season of your life. And at that time, I do feel like if my sister was at my wedding, I would have had to feel just uncomfortable. Okay. And regardless of if that was from her, from John, it wouldn't have mattered, right? I would have felt uncomfortable. So at the time, I think that I made the best decision in that moment. Looking back, I would have been different.
Were there other family members at your wedding, Christina?
No. It was a very spur of the moment kind of shotgun wedding.
Okay.
You know, and we do have, you know, plan on maybe having a real wedding someday. We haven't, you know, that's kind of in the forecast as well. So when that day comes, Jessica will be my maid of honor.
Yes. We'll redeem this, Jessica. But Jessica, so this whole thing started because of your relationship with John. Initially, when you met John, did you like him initially?
I got to go back because this was a couple years ago. So I'm like, okay. I think that I felt weird. I'm trying to remember. Did I meet him first? I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember my. Do you? I do. The dinner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dinner. Well, no, I didn't hate him. I just was like, whoa, this is very weird because like I'm like, I like to be myself, and I'm very like, oh, and I was like, oh, I gotta kind of be in a shell. That's how I felt. Now, looking back, because I've grown so much and been into therapy, I should have handled it much different.
Right.
I think just a lot of emotions being changed and shifted, and new dynamics and all of these new things. And I just would have liked John to step back and kind of know his role, which is like, I'm in a relationship now with some twins. Let them kind of hash it out. Let me kind of sit back and you know, and learn, which I feel like he's learning. I feel like John's learning. He's kind of learning to sit back and kind of let things, let the twins take care of their problems, you know?
Yeah. But there was a point, right? What was that one thing that made you say that at the time, that made you think that you just didn't want anything to do with him? Because there was like a clash between you and your sister at the very end. But is it something specific that he said or did that offended you?
Well, he sent me the message that offended me. And then for me, it was really when he said, your sister hates you. I think that's just that you don't say to family members in the middle of it. And now back that I know John better, I think he was trying to protect Christina and like be this hero to Christina, but that was just a little, you know, a little too much for me at that time. I forgave him for it, just like he's forgiven me for things. You know, we've had our own moments and conversations since, obviously, but at that time, again,
yeah. I watched season 2 and I was shocked at the end when you and John just had us sobbing because it was such an emotional moment. And what was that moment like where you guys just, even without speaking, just decided that we have to just live in love, I guess I would say.
Yeah, I think in life, when you have beautiful moments presented in front of you and you feel nothing but love vibration, how do you embrace that? How do you not love that? You know, and I think at the end of the day, what was so misinterpreted for me was that my intentions were all love. My intentions were all love. I just went about it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
About family being close and love and embracing. And so I was just like, why can't I be a part of these moments? These moments are like, you can never take them back in life. And that's why all the hardships that we go in through life, those are the moments that make life worth living, right? Be robbed of that. And I also watched John treat my sister very well during her pregnancy. I watched him take care of her. I watched him, rub her feet and be there for her. And that was a brownie point for me. I loved observing that and watching that. And in that moment, it was all very real. And since that moment, John and I have been able to grow our relationship and change it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. Christina, what was it like for you seeing? I'm sure it was a relief.
Yes, it was a huge relief. And I intuitively, I felt like that was how it would happen. When I was pregnant, I felt like McLean was going to bring the family together. So I wasn't really surprised because I felt it would happen. But I was very just like grateful for it. Like, okay, this is what I know we're all capable of doing as a family and how we're capable of coexisting. So it felt good.
And things are good today. You're one big happy triplets trio, right?
I don't know how to describe it. But describe what? Like our dynamic now.
Yeah. What's the dynamic like now? Is it good?
You describe it. I mean, we have a new person now in the mix, so it's not really a triplet. It's a foursome.
Right. Josh.
Mm-hmm.
There's Josh now. Look at that, Josh and John.
Josh and John. It's Jess, Josh, and John. I'm the only C name. It's all the J's.
You're gonna have to add a J. Justina.
Yeah, Justina. Yeah.
So how are things with John?
Well, a lot has happened, and I'm actually going to give you the tea that I've never gave anybody, so feel very honored. Okay. I haven't let this come out, but Josh and I actually had a miscarriage. The baby, we went to our first ultrasound, and the heart stopped beating the day before, so it was a very hard time. I chose to have a miscarriage, which means my body, I had a miscarriage, which some people don't know this world because they've never had miscarriages, and then a lot of people totally understand it. But a miscarriage is where your baby's heart stops beating and your body it's still producing the hormones. It's still, your body still, you carry this baby for about a month until you naturally miscarry. And I'm very into I didn't want to have a procedure. I chose to wait. So I chose about a month And then I had a natural, like my body went to contractions. Like I actually worse contractions with this miscarriage than I had with my son, and all natural both. So it was a hard time, you know. I birthed the baby at home. It's obviously very
And I was
small.
there.
Yeah, she was there as the baby
When she started getting her contractions. And
yeah.
So
So
it happens as if you had to continue on as if you're having wow.
just takes a little bit of time. You know, some people they bleed, right? And they go, oh, I'm having a miscarriage. With a miscarriage, you go into an ultrasound and the heartbeat stops and the baby's, you know, still like not alive, but still there. And then you have to
Your body.
And a lot of people, they get like a procedure done
to remove it.
remove the baby. Yeah. But I chose to just naturally let my body, you know, my body knows what to do. So that was a hard time. That, you know, was when I was at Christina's labor, I was pregnant, and then it was like about 2 weeks after that I had. So it was a hard time for Josh and I. You know, this is his first child.
Yeah, that because I saw that moment and it was such a happy moment when you told him. You know,
Yeah.
That's very sad. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So I know a lot of my fans, they DM me and they're like,
They want to know about the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've
Josh,
seen the questions, but I wasn't gonna ask because I know it has to be like a very private thing. So I just
yeah. Well, yeah, I it's time. You know, I had to heal for a while and kind of just, but you know, I think a lot of people want to know that, you know, so, and so Josh and I are still together. We recently had a breakup and he moved out. He was living with me. Maybe we moved in too fast. He has a place. So we're figuring that new life out, you know.
Right.
So we'll
With
see
the
how
help
we do.
of me. I'm going to help her figure that out. No.
Are you? Are you right?
I mean, I help her get through her breakups. They break up like every, 3 weeks?
No, he leaves me over every time we have conflict.
So
Our dynamic,
our dynamic is different now because it used to be like John was the villain or whatever. And I feel like I'm morphing into my sister because like now I'm like, oh my God, like I don't like her boyfriend and I don't think he's the right guy for her. And I her go through all of these challenges with him and I'm like, it shouldn't be this hard, like relationships are. So my whole thing is like, you know, I'm like, okay, you're gonna either marry my sister or you're gonna finally get the rest of your stuff out and not come back. Like that's the options. And I feel like there needs to be an intervention soon and I need to tell him these things. And for me, I'm going to therapy. I have 2 therapists right now.
Two. Okay. 2 is always better than 1, I suppose.
Therapy around the clock. My part-time job is therapy. Okay, receiving it. That's my part. I have 2 therapists. So I have one with, you know, traumas or whatever, and then I have one with relationship and communication. I do need to get better at how I articulate and communicate my feelings in ways that don't start arguments or offend other people. And I'm working on it.
Sometimes that personality, like I feel like I need to find that good blend where I used to be really, really like very scared to speak my truth and set boundaries. And I think you see a lot of that in season 1 and 2. I just cry a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like where I'm now very like, if anything, I got the taste of what it was like to set a boundary and now I'm going crazy with it.
boundaries.
Yeah. Well, but not falling to other people. So that's where I'm going to work on my boundaries. Okay. Therapy and setting some too.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, I suggest maybe Josh needs some therapy too.
He's in therapy. We're starting couples therapy.
I think we need family therapy.
Let's bring the cameras on.
Yeah, that's good.
We need to figure out the dynamic because it's very, our dynamic's a lot different now. So there's Josh and John who are friends. They get along. And then Jessica and Josh now are great. So they gang up on me. And now that one argument. That was not you and Josh ganged up. John.
That's how
John
you felt.
ganged
That's
up on
how
me.
you felt. That's not what we were ever trying to do or intend to do.
Well, basically, they see the same side now and think I'm, you know. And then there's me and Josh who, like, our dynamic is.
We need intervention. We need help. We are fucked up.
You gotta figure it out. Are you guys? Have they announced a season 3?
They haven't. No, we have not heard anything. There hasn't been a renewal or anything. So we're hoping. It's pretty
not a good content opportunity. Let's just say that.
No, we need a season 3. No, we definitely need. Do you guys rewatch the episode?
I've rewatched The Birth a couple times just because it's like, oh, give.
By the way, guys, I've never watched a birth ever, and I learned some things I did not know. The pooping, I have no idea about the pooping.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Like, I was so constipated with my first 2 pregnancies, and all the moms were like, "Oh, you're gonna poop during labor," and I was blessed because I just never could. But with McLean, it was just different, and I was like, "Oh, this is what they warned me about." Okay, and I find it funny. It had to be when they were filming it and putting on national. Nobody. I feel like they manifested that.
I was in shock, like, really? Is this what happens?
Does happen.
Wow. That was a lot. And she was scooping, and then Christina was like at one point, it stinks in here. And I was cracking up.
Now, when you go through, so you haven't had a child? You haven't gone through like...
No, just a dog, which, doesn't require any of that.
Yeah, there's something that happens, it's in our body and in our spirit. Like you morph into a different person. Now I know that, like, with a like epidural or medication, I think obviously that helps prevent all that from happening. But when it's natural, I think you have to morph into somebody else in order to endure the pain.
So is there a reason you didn't want an epidural?
I just wanted to really have kind of like this euphoric. I say euphoric. It definitely was not euphoric.
Was it euphoric because it looked painful?
It was very painful, but I wanted to experience like labor in its most natural form.
I mean, and all our labors have been natural. Both of us.
Wow.
Yeah. But we've had natural labors. We just haven't had them at home. So it was like, hey, if we can do it, I've done it natural. Let's do it at home, and let's see if I can handle this without like the doctors and the medical. And she did, and I'm very proud of her. You handled that very well. Yeah, it was actually really amazing to experience.
Yeah. So after you have the baby at home, right? Do you have to then go to a doctor afterwards or the hospital afterwards? What do you do next?
No, I mean, I laid on my couch and I just healed. I mean, I didn't even have stitches. I didn't go see a doctor, nothing. I just healed up and was like,
okay, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I love it. So I was watching, as I said, I was watching season 2, and some of the pairs are very extreme. So I'm gonna play a game, and it's called Would You Do It? It's some of the things I've seen the other sisters do. So I want to know if you would do it as well.
Okay.
All right. So I already know the answer to this, but I'm asking anyway. Would you share a boyfriend? Just one guy, both of you.
We've got to figure out how to like each other's boyfriends. Like, let's start there.
You don't have the same taste in men at all. There is a couple who they're with the Australian sisters. They're with this, and I'm just like, how?
We would fight.
Jealous.
Yeah, we would gang up on him. We would fight.
We wouldn't like
other.
him. One wouldn't like him. One would like him. One wouldn't.
One would love him. One would hate him. It would be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is crazy to me. And he has to do everything. So if he kisses like Christina on the cheek, he has to kiss Jessica on the, like, they have to do it sounds exhausting to me.
That's why I would love in season 3 to see what an art, like what's some real life shit like, because I'm convinced that everything's perfect and we're just this big happy family.
Yeah,
I'm not.
It's very, somebody has to be jealous. I'm telling you, somebody has to be upset, even if they're not saying it. There's no way for 10 years you're just waking up every day just yes. I'm not buying that. I'm absolutely not buying it.
I mean, they claim they're the same person, right? So okay, I'll give you that. You are the same person. But even myself, I am one person, and there's days I hate myself, and I get annoyed at myself and go, oh, look, I don't like this outfit. And so how are they be every day waking up and blissing? Today we're going to wear the green outfit. Yes, we are, and we're going to eat this. We are, and we're
no conflict, but just
that's what it is.
What did you say?
health issues are just different. That's all.
No, it's crazy. They went to the hairdresser in the scene and she had to cut like a snippet of one hair and then she had to go over to the other chair and it was the most exhausting thing. Sometimes I fast forward because I'm like, I cannot do this.
Some people really love them or some people just get frustrated. Like I've noticed that viewers, like they go on love or hate them, you know? And same with us. We have viewers that love us and viewers that fast forward our parts. They can't stand us. We got Team John.
But your parts are not boring. That's the thing. So who's fast forwarding through those parts?
I mean, people say haters all the time. I get haters all the time.
I mean, you're gonna get haters. It's just all right. So here's the other thing. Would you pull a tooth? So your sister has to pull a tooth because it's infected, right? Would you also pull your tooth for absolutely no reason? Your tooth is fine, but Jessica pulled hers. So Christina, you're just like, I have to pull mine. Would you do that?
Okay, so this is actually one thing I might consider. Because my sister and I, we share like our anxieties the same. Okay, so if my sister said, listen, I have anxiety, like to pull my tooth, will you please do it with me? Like if I was helping her to like her anxiety, I would do it. We've got teeth pulled together before. Like we both went to the dentist and he pulled one, but they weren't the same tooth. Yeah, but I would. I feel like if she was having anxiety and she really wanted me to do it with her, I would. I think she would sit on the chair next to me. I don't think you would get your tooth pulled, but thank you. I would. Okay.
Now you know what your sister would do for you.
No, I wouldn't do it. If I was No. Okay. I would sit with you and like rub your arm or something.
Hold your hand. But am I pulling my good tooth? No, ma'am. No.
It's something it's an option I would explore. Let's just, I would. I'm being honest. Yes,
really?
If she really needed it, I would.
Would you go on your sister's honeymoon?
No.
Not with your significant other, just you with the.
We would. Yeah. I think we would. I think we would. Yeah. Because we like to go on trips together, and so if she was like, "Hey, come on this honeymoon with me," we would do it. Yeah. I think we'd be. But I would give you guys your guys' space. You know what I mean? I'm learning all these boundaries now. Oh, like, please. I would. Go do whatever.
Oh, I thought that was kind of like...
I think she's trying to... I think her therapist has gotten in her head, and I think she's trying to...
I think therapy is helping me.
It is working. It is working.
Therapists help you.
No, I would be at the honeymoon, and we know we'd be at the bar together, or we wouldn't be drinking, but the boys would be doing something, and we'd be at the beach. We'd be like, no, we don't want to go on the boat excursion.
Oh, we have boys with us?
But here's the thing. No. In this situation, the other guy was not coming. So it's right. So that's what it is. So it's not like
you and Josh get married.
Me and Josh get married.
No. It's not like a couple's thing and you're there with your significant other. You're just there alone and your sister's there with her new husband.
Comfort, I would go. I would say, need me for comfort, I will be in the next room.
We do that. Sometimes if she needs comfort, I'll travel to where she's going. It's a rush. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So maybe the other couples are not that weird then.
We're flipping.
Maybe they're not that strange. I mean, the Australian couple.
The new relationship, and she's like, wait a minute, don't do all these crazy things.
2 years.
And so for hair, you're not getting your hair exactly alike because Jessica's hair is lighter.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you guys identical?
Yes.
So we tell you apart now by the hair.
Yes.
Without the hair, what's the distinguishing marker? How do people tell you apart?
Resting bitch face.
No.
Nice. Actually nice. I don't care what the face is. What's the reality? Oh, that's rude.
I saw something on your page about an illness when you were teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me about that? Because that was a lot of persons don't know about that.
Oh, yeah. So when I turned, I was in high school, I got just sick all of a sudden. I felt like I was going to pass out, and I started gaining all this weight, and I just got really ill. Mm-hmm. And then a year the same exact thing started happening to her. Same symptoms. She got lightheaded. She started gaining weight. So now we were like 18, 19, 20, both ill overweight together.
300 pounds.
We were three. I mean,
bedridden.
Don't know what's wrong with.
Yeah.
So we spent like the first
Our 20s.
Yeah, our really until we were about 28, trying to figure out how to just survive illness and being, you know,
What's wrong with us?
how to survive, make money, and put a roof over our heads, because we didn't have like our family, any support from our parents. So we were battling just like a really hard life. I mean, our childhood was really hard, and then when we finally felt like we got some freedom, that was taken from us with an illness. With our illness, though, we actually did end up changing that entire. We feel like it happened for a spiritual reason. We think the universe was trying to put us on our spiritual path, because nursing school, and we were like, and you know, be totally earthbound humans, okay? And the universe was like, no, you need to connect to your divine space here. So we had to suffer. We had to suffer to realign, and then we actually healed ourselves with the power of our mind. We started. We started Reiki charging each other. We started manifesting. We started doing affirmations,
sound baths,
telling our body we were healed.
grounding. Like, we do all those things because it's healed us.
It's healed us. You know, we started losing the weight. We started feeling better. We started getting all the things that we were wanting to create for ourselves.
We got out of the bed. We went from bedridden to like
losing the weight. I mean,
going on runs. Like, we started changing our life.
Yep. And that's
do you know what caused that? Is it a family? The illnesses, was it a family thing that was passed down?
It was, nope, we know nothing. It was honestly, I think it was a divine intervention to stop us from going down the path we were going to go down.
Oh, wow.
I think it also was put in place to teach us how to manifest, to teach us the power of healing and the power of our minds, the power of Reiki healing. So we got to like suffer and then heal ourselves. So we got to be first, like, be shown like, you can do this.
Wow, that's very interesting. You were saying that you guys had a hard childhood, but I don't think we know a lot from watching the show about your childhood. What was that like?
Daddy left us at 4, 3. I don't know. We have our last memory of Daddy was him punching our mom through a window. So
oh wow.
So he was out of there, and then my mom got married to like
only alcoholics.
Very like we moved around a lot, and then she'd be like, okay, I'm gonna find the guy in the tent in the side of the street, and we're gonna marry him, and you're gonna call him Dad. And we just did not have love. We were neglected. We witnessed a lot of traumatic experiences, yelling, fighting, no safety, no stability, and so we were very young, and we had each other, and we were like, this is not normal. We were like 7 or 8 years old, like saying, this, whatever this life is not the life we're going to live, and this is not normal. We grew up really young. And it made our bond stronger because we leaned on each other, right? Like, we didn't have parents and love, so we loved each other and showed each other this is what families feels like.
Do you have a relationship with your mom today?
She passed away. She packs the cigarettes a day, and she got lung cancer. We took care of her on her deathbed, you know.
Our dad, though, he showed up in our life randomly about 2 years ago.
Wow.
Drunker than a skunk.
Well, he's still, so nothing has changed.
In terms of what?
In terms of him. If he's still drinking.
Well, no, he sobered up. So he showed up at our house randomly like 2 years ago. We told him if he wanted to be in our life, he did have to sober up. He wanted to be in kids' lives. So he did sober up. He's actually 2 years sober. And we are slowly integrating him back into our life.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
That's left our life, though.
Who? What did you say, Jessica?
Mike, he's a character on the show. He's no longer in my life. He's actually
Is Mike are you talking your ex-husband, Mike?
Okay, so Mike Connor, you know, he went down a bad path. He's not. I haven't talked to him in months. He has an opiate, fentanyl, and drug and alcoholic addict abuse. I don't know where he's living, if he's working, if he has a house, if he's alive. Like, that's Mike Connor right now. So I'm a single mom, and Mike, he's went down a really, really bad path.
Wow. So. Was that something in his past that he took back up, or was that a shock? Yes, it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, we talked about it, but he was sober, and or gaslighting us that he was sober. No, he was definitely more sober, because the decisions he makes when he's sober are very different than the ones he makes. The show witnessed
the Mike Connor
He's in a
that
good space.
yeah is
Right,
a good
'cause I'm surprised. No, yeah, wow.
completely different person. I think America would be shocked. Like it's really sad. It's actually really sad, and it breaks my heart. So
Yeah, that sounds very sad. I'm hoping that that changes for the better because your baby,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything exciting you guys want to tease before we go?
So depressing stuff. Holy shit. I'm sorry. Here, everybody get tissues because you know what I'm saying. Like,
No, it's fine. It's just real life. It's fine. It's a life update. You don't need to control what's happening, right?
well, the article just says headlines: Extreme sisters go to.
It's taking a downward spiral. Things.
Our life is a giant spiral these days.
Oh my gosh. No, the headline will not say that, okay? It will not say that. But any fun things coming up?
Anyone, Josh?
We're trying to get her man to marry her.
On my finger, you know that's exciting.
We're trying to get
Working on the ring. Okay.
We do have a family. We do have a family vacation coming up in February. I'm very scared to go on at this point.
Are you going camping? And who?
Yes, but if we're going to Disneyland. We're taking the entire family, all the kids for
fun.
California. So that's going to be.
We're supposed to have a camping trip in 2 weeks, and I don't. Are you going or not? Be honest.
I don't know.
See, I knew that she's gonna ditch me on the camping trip.
Really
That
hard to be.
could be, Christina, that could be where Josh is planning to pop the question, and you don't want to miss out on that.
Josh booked. Josh Jamaican, by the way. He's his dad's Jamaican. His mom.
I saw the Jamaican shirt, and I was like,
Yeah.
I just figured.
Well, no, honestly, we'll go on this camping trip if Josh decides, like, if he comes home. I mean, he's left.
Maybe he'll come home the day before and then the next day.
AWOL for a few days. So if he decides to come home, how about this? Why don't we change the script? If I decide to let him come home, okay? How about we change it?
You're in charge.
Have some dignity and some self-worth.
Yes, you're in control. You are in control, Jessica. If you allow him back home.
She's gonna call me crying tonight. He needs to come home. I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna say, screw him. He's a piece of shit. And she's gonna say, no, he's not. He'll be home.
I love him.
Again, exciting news. I hope I get a ring.
Listen, you guys are gonna manifest your ring. It's gonna work, Jessica. It's gonna work out, okay?
I hope. My life's been hard, so
it's gonna. I just know it. It's gonna be. It's gonna work out. I had a fun chat with you guys.
All right, fun chat too.
yes, thank you.